As we celebrate our 300th birthday, Holliston embarked on a new and exciting journey to create a town-wide strategic plan that will guide Holliston for years to come. This will serve as a roadmap guided by a shared vision and values. We welcomed and encouraged questions and insights from diverse voices and views for over 2 years. We received thousands of responses through surveys and community forums that inspired lively discussions with residents of all ages and backgrounds. The strategic plan is centered around the idea that Holliston is a small town with a big heart. And no one knows that better than the Envisioning Future Holliston Committee.
It was actually pretty easy to come up with the notion of a small town with a big heart. When we first moved here, we got involved with work at the food pantry. And I was surprised and very pleased to find out that everything at the food pantry is volunteer. And it was just a wonderful feeling to have moved to a community where neighbors help neighbors. Small town, big heart.
When I think of Holliston being a small town with a big heart, what comes to my mind is as we grow and develop as a town, we want to take with us some of the best things from our past, and we want to be able to carry that into the future. One of them is this feeling of connectedness and being a close-knit community that really hears and understands each other, even as we scale and develop.
We are incredibly compassionate. We help each other out. We put a lot of emphasis on the health and well-being of Holliston's children.
I find that Holliston has a plethora of volunteers. The bike trail, that's amazing, with the 8-arch bridge, what a project. All the committees that keep this town running, and these are all volunteers that step forward and give their time and energy to this town. I think it's great.
So a small town with a big heart, when I hear that phrase, the first thing I think of is home. I think of all the friends that I've made who've become like family, and together we serve, we volunteer, and we support each other.
I found out that one of our neighbors has been ill for a very long time, and that neighbors, all of them, have jumped up to help out, bringing meals, creating meals. So the whole town is very supportive of everyone else in town.
We are inclusive. We're welcoming. We have a big heart. Anybody diverse in their backgrounds are welcome. So you get the best of both worlds, the small town flavor, but also a community that's not closed to the outside and to newness.
The strategic plan was developed by a dedicated group of volunteers. Through input from the community, the Envisioning Future Holliston Committee developed a strong shared vision with 7 strategic priorities the town will focus on for the next 5 years.
Well, my focus in the strategic plan is diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have the goal of ensuring that every committee member, every elected official, every member of the town staff, and then eventually the community will have access to training about DEI. My hope is that as we think about those issues, that we actually then don't have to think about them, that they're simply part of the array of ideas we have whenever we approach new policies and practices in the community.
So the focus that I represented for this committee was education. Many people know me as school committee and our public schools pre-K through 12 education, but really I represent all education for the town. It's lifelong learning, it's learning through the arts, it's learning through volunteerism. So it's a really big, broad category.
I am a part of Holliston's Economic Development Committee, and I am happy to see that we ended up with not just one, but in fact 3 strategic priorities as part of the strategic plan. We know that the town residents want a more vibrant economy. They want to be able to spend more of our family budget within Holliston. We want to have more small businesses, but we also want some medium businesses as well as maybe some large businesses. So we want choices.
The goals that I'm most concerned about are the ones that are associated with land use. the water quality, how important it is in town. We have so much of it, but in many places we're infringing on it in ways that I don't think should happen.
As a select board member, we're looking at things like sidewalks and a sewer system in downtown and trying to find ways to grow responsibly and to give people the opportunity to be a part of the community and get out of their cars and not just drive through the town of Holliston, to actually get out and spend some money. We have a lot of wonderful businesses here and the people pass by them, but we want to get them out and get people doing those things.
My focus is sustainability. Sustainability is more than just trash pickup and recycling. We need to look ahead to years like 2030 when our carbon footprint's supposed to be 50% of what it used to be, or 2050 when we're net zero. So these are things we need to plan for in the future, and a climate action plan will give us some concrete steps that we can take to get there.
Among the things I'm interested in is continuing education for adults. I taught at Keefe Tech high school students for many years, but now I'm participating at Keefe at night, and they have wonderful programs that I hope everyone can gain access to and partake.
The strategic priority that I'm focusing on is diversity, equity, and inclusion. The population is changing. The racial makeup is changing. So part of that is making sure that the people we employ reflect the changing population, and to train the staff that's already here as to how to be as welcoming and equitable to that population as possible.
To grow, to flourish our economy, we need an infrastructure to meet that. The other thing that really concerns me is the planning in town. There's very little buildable space left, both commercially and residentially. How do we utilize what we have here to enable us to meet the goals of the future?
I sit on the Council on Aging. Since I've grown up in the town and have developed into a senior myself, 24% of the people in Holliston are over 60. And by 2030, that's going to be about 36%. So this is a large segment of the population that's going to need serving.
So I'm a volunteer for the Economic Development Committee. I think it's important to recognize, though, that it's not just the economy. There's other aspects within the plan that what it is that we can do or accomplish to grow our economy and grow our tax base can benefit other aspects of our town. So, for example, a lot of people think, oh, well, this type of business can service the residents and provide this type of service. Yes, it can, absolutely. But it can also to increase revenues that allows us then to maybe think about doing other things like, hey, we need money to build infrastructure for, say, town sewer. These are things that are important because you need revenues in order to expand our capabilities as a town.
Holliston's plan is a reflection of our collective aspirations, what we want for ourselves and our community. Together, we're striving for a vibrant and livable town for all, shaped by our desire for an active, beautiful, and full of life community.
Overall, what I like about the plan is the fact that the town is doing it. The town is progressive enough to realize that where we are today may not be sufficient to handle the needs and desires of the population here in the next 3 to 5 years.
We really needed to move from the reactive to proactive economic development, being able to get ahead of the curve and really do something to bring in the right types of businesses.
What I love about the strategic plan is we finally have this document that will help give us a roadmap for the future. We believe in the same goals, and we're going to do what we say. That's exciting to me.
Ultimately, I'm very excited about the notion that what we are trying to do is to create greater accessibility. The idea that we will bring the community together to talk, that when there are important issues in town, we don't wait for town meeting and the opportunity to talk about things when they're all over, when it's done, but rather throughout the year we engage people in conversation.
The strategic plan is not a finished document, it's a living document. And as we check something off, something new is going to come forward that we need to add to the list, and that's good. It's a 5-year plan that we have right now, and we look towards the next one and trying to update and to refine those goals so we can continue to do this into the future.
I think what I'm really excited about is the idea of working together across different committees, elected officials, town administration. I think this would be good for us to do a holistic audit of everything and see what the possibilities are. There may be some opportunities that we're not even thinking about today. And this will allow us to sit here and not only just meet these guidelines, but more importantly, to help us thrive, to help us diversify, and help us create greater opportunities for those that want to live and work here.
The Envisioning Future Holliston Committee will continue to meet to track the progress of the plan's goals. The plan shares the commitment that every decision, every policy, and every initiative is taken with accountability at its core. Using an inclusive lens, the promise is excellence in service, responsible financial planning, and transparent governance. As we continue to create Holliston's future, remember, we are all in this together. This is our plan. It's Holliston's heart, written, refined, and realized. Together, we are not just envisioning the future, we are making it.